right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get going with Team Verum versus InFinity Esports for some ESEA Advanced Season 36. We are here in the server, and Team Verum, our home team, will be starting on the CT side. So already off the bat, we're seeing a couple of interesting buys to start us off, a couple of frag grenades. But getting into this first match, see what we can get going. Both teams have had a very similar record throughout this season 36, so this is an important match to determine who goes up further in the rankings and who's going to fall. Already off the bat, we see Sam and Co playing very, very far up, but the first fight is going to happen over in Banana with Ajax. Nothing's going to come of it, as after a few shots are fired, the retreat is going to come out, and now Spamzy going to be throwing a whole bunch of smokes towards the A site. Pushing on in, they're going to find the lone player in pit, but they did not expect CMX to be playing this far back into the bomb site. He's going to take out two before he finally falls, and at least set up Ajax and Stamina with a chance to get back onto this site. Stamina takes down Spamzy before getting fired back onto Kinky, and Point is AFK and spawn. Interesting choice there. So it comes down to technically a 1v1, but Kinky is good for yet another headshot for a 4K to open up the game. Round one's going to fall to InFinity, and now we can take a quick pause while we figure out what the heck happened to Team InFinity's fifth. Not exactly sure what happened there, but despite the lack of a player, the efforts from Kinky more than made up for it, picking up 4 whole frags on the round. Match is still going to be paused, I believe. I'm not sure what I don't remember what the exact regulation is while we figure out how to get this last player from InFinity in. So let's hope they can get here soon. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, because this is, again, yet another stream for the Verum squad. If you would like to drop a follow on the Twitch, it's absolutely free. There's no reason not to, and it helps us out immensely. So, while I have this time to talk at you, you can go ahead and do so, please and thank you. Should, regardless of that, be ready to get in back towards the match soon. We do see a potential force coming in from the side of InFinity, with 3 rifles being picked up by the T's and 1 AK. So this should, by all means, once we get back into it, be a quick little bonus for InFinity. But that remains to be seen. I honestly wouldn't be all that surprised if Verum just suddenly picks it up, wins the technical bonus, and then steals the enemy's guns to push in for some free extra rounds while they're down economically. For now, though, we are going to continue to chill out while we learn what happened to this extra player. Who knows? How is everyone in chat tonight doing, by the way? I hope you're all doing well. I'm Last, and I'm here for some CSGO action. Excited to be, as usual, casting here for Team Verum for some ESEA Advanced. I always love getting some ESEA action in my week. And right now, hopefully, we should be able to get back into it soon. Just listen to some nice bird sounds, you know, the Inferno birds in the meantime. Oh, he's back. Okay. The return. And somehow Point has -1 kills. That's interesting. Thank you, scoreboard. So, should be getting back into the match soon as the timer unpauses. And we'll just have to wait out the brief 15-second window to get started once more. There we go. All right. back into it now, like I mentioned earlier, for the force buy for InFinity Esports, so it should be a quick bonus in the second round against Team Verum's CT side, but this is Inferno. Anything could happen. You will never know. Early Molly coming in and going to tag up Sam for a little bit of damage as he tries to aggress onto Banana, but it's not quite going to hold him back as long as they would like him to. He takes a shot in the dark through the smoke, doesn't quite find it, so it's going to be on to the rest of the InFinity squad as they decide to push on their way towards the A site. Point is up in apartments, but it remains to be seen if he'll decide to check on CMX chilling out down below the porch. Another smoke's going to go out to hold onto that angle for Ajax and CMX, so Kinky and Co are going to wait just a little bit longer. See when they decide to push in. They are doing a fantastic job of, despite having the superior firepower a lot more often than not during a force round, when a team has just the better firepower than their opposition, they'll decide to play super aggressive, and that's when they'll just get caught off by the upgraded pistols. So I really like the play from InFinity, playing a lot more patient, and I especially like CMX playing in this back of A site. Picks up 2, but the bomb is going to go down, and once again, it's going to be left on the 2 B site players to come back in. Chuti playing down in pit, gonna avoid the first shot as Spamzy sprays on in and takes out Sam. Now Ajax all on his own with only a deagle to his name. Probably not going to be able to take this, if I'm going to be honest. That should be a second round, and yes, it is. So, InFinity going to hold on to quite a few rifles, as well as taking the round. But now going into the first full buy for Team Verum. We'll see what they'll be able to do with it. I do like the reinvestment coming out from Spamzy, though, and actually doing an interesting job of keeping his teammates equipped. Now pushing on in. Their economy is looking pretty good, and Verum is going to elect to spend another round saving. Got 3 players playing top of mid here, and they're about to catch at least Chuti. Should he rotate, or should he push on in? But he is indeed going to be caught out by the triple peek from Verum. So that's going to be the first man fallen for InFinity in this third round, and it should be at least a free okay gun for Sam right there. He's going to get a hand on it, but tomorrow with a spray into ruins, going to take down Ajax and do quite a bit of damage to the rest. Now bomb is likely going down in just a moment, but Sam with the spray through the smoke going to take down tomorrow. It's all on to Jonesy, though. We can't quite do it. 2 more still surviving from InFinity Esports. That's going to be a third round. I kind of pity Verum here, because now actually being able to go into their first full buy, Stamina having the op, they're still going to be met with the op on Chuti and the rifles on the rest of the squad. It's still a scary position because InFinity's doing a great job of building up quite a bit of momentum to start off this T side on Inferno. So, chucking in that quick old nade. A whole lot of utility coming into mid. An interesting use of it here from the squad. Bamsy's going to be wary of the smoke, making sure that no one from Verum is lurking on into it, but they're just going to start pushing out slowly, and it looks like they're going to cram most of their squad into Banana. Ajax and Sam are ready to meet them, though, so it should be a pretty big fight soon. A good nade coming in and doing quite a bit of damage to them, and the flash is going to prevent Chuti from taking the first head. Instead, it's going to be Ajax getting 3 with the spray down. A beautiful play, and he should have just set up Verum for their first round when Stamina taking the shot onto Kinky with the op. And it seems like this first full buy from Verum is exactly what they needed to rejuvenate themselves and get back into the action. Now, Jonesy trying to catch the save, but yeah, Chuti is just all the way back at T-spawn up in apartments, trying to at least hold on to this op for his team, make sure that reinvestment can come through. I believe Ajax and Sam are both aware of the bomb sitting right in front of the fountain, so I don't think they're too scared of being baited and the plant going down at A. Yeah, they definitely have seen the bomb. So, with 15 seconds remaining on the clock, that's a round for Verum. Now, should be going into this next round with not a single casualty on them. They should be able to get the bonus. Point Spamsy both have quite a bit of money too, so they have the potential to buy the rest of their team. But I don't quite know if they're going to want to be doing that. This round coming up could be crucial to stopping either team from getting too much momentum, but it does look like we're going to have another pause coming out. Let's see what we're doing here. Wonder if I actually do not know if this is tactical or technical. I'm assuming, at least, since all the players are still here this time, that it's actually a tactical pause, not a technical pause. Match timer has been started, so I do assume that was just a quick little beat to catch their breath. And the force buy is going to come up from InFinity. So, should Verum be able to win this round, they could have the opportunity to absolutely cripple the economy of the T side. This buy is very risky from them, and so too is the extreme aggression up into Banana, but it's going to pay off in spades because both Ajax and Sam are going to fall to the crossfire from Team InFinity. Now, the 3 players over on A are going to have to make the decision on if they even want to bother pushing this, if they want to hold on to the guns. This could be a textbook save. Jonesy, though, taking down point, has the opportunity to at least create some space for his team to play in, but I do believe that this will just be them waiting out the bomb and maybe trying to catch some exit frags. So, good round from InFinity, good early aggression into the B bomb site. I especially liked that they, did the textbook play of actually checking your corner. It's a thing that I've seen quite a few ESEA teams forget about from time to time, where they just let the corners go and end up getting shot in the back for it. So, do love to see it when they actually remember to check around it, and the timing on it could not have been better, with both players rounding on the corner, firing in almost perfect unison, and taking those 2 early frags. Now, going into the 4th, it's still going to be a buy from Verum, but a shaky buy. They have full utility this round, but should they go into the next after losing this one as well, it could be a dangerous situation. Both teams aren't in the perfect situation yet, though, because both of them have been trading rounds pretty consistently in terms of econ. Now we've got a couple of players playing mid, but I think they're a little bit wary of how this InFinity roster plays up through Banana and into the B bomb site. This time they have elected to stack 3 towards that, but recognizing it, the InFinity roster seems to have elected to push towards A. They haven't quite given away their position yet, just throwing some standard smokes and flashes in. But I think the Verum roster, having checked down Banana, has to at least suspect it. Sam probably about to smoke himself in, at least confirm it. It looks like A is indeed going to be the play. We do see Kinky pushing into the apartments. An early shot coming in from Chudu, but he's going to miss his mark of Steve X down in pit. But a lot of frags going off all at the same time, and a beautiful site execute from the InFinity squad. They're going to find what was a fully stacked site and not even mind. They just clear it out anyways, not even caring. And now this could be another save for the 2 players over on B. Want to keep holding on to that op at least, and the chicken will be silenced. This has been a pretty dominant half so far. I know we're still very early, only round 6 of 15 in the T-side half, but already being up 5-1, and now probably forcing the light buy, except for the 2 players carrying over their guns from a previous round. 2 flawless rounds in a row for InFinity is not looking great for them. team kill. Okay. We're going to have yet another pause. We are just kind of entered into Pause City once again. So let's see what we can do here. Once again, I hope all of you are having a fantastic night. I'm just here. I'm last casting some CSGO as I tend to do. I've been playing, I bought it yesterday, and I already have like 5 or 6 hours into it. I've been playing a lot of Octopath Traveler. I'm a big Square Enix RPG fan, so in the lead up of Bravely Default 2 coming out later this week, I've just been grinding the hell out of Octopath. But I can always find time in my schedule to cast some CS even when I am on that JRPG grind. So now, getting into this next round, if momentum serves to continue the way that it has been, at least, should be another possible round on the board for InFinity, but that does remain to be seen. Now it's going to be a little bit of aggression through mid, but at least this could be an interesting play from point, playing a very deep lurk now going through underpass. Could serve to draw a couple of players away from the bomb site, and now Ajax is going to find himself alone on this site as the entire squad pushes in on him. Molly's galore coming out, and he doesn't even suspect that Tomorrow is going to be playing in Ruins right behind him. Jonesy's good for one on the point, but the bomb goes down with only 2 players remaining. This looks like it could be yet another save from Verum. It's not looking great for the boys. After, I think this is their, 3rd save round in a row? You gotta think, at some point, you need to try and be aggressive onto the site after the bomb's been put down, or this CT half isn't going to shape up to much. Now InFinity going up 6-1 in the set. Not looking great. Verum needs to find quite a few rounds together here to at least stop the momentum. If not, maybe get themselves a little bit of lead going. But, like I mentioned, that's another round, and we see that statistic popping up. Chudy has lasted 3 rounds straight without even dying because they just keep executing onto site, getting quick kills, and forcing Verum into another save situation. Rifles are still going to be coming out, and utility doesn't look bad. So, pushing into this next match, or next round, excuse me, it's going to be a bit of an aggressive play from Verum up at mid. A couple of shots coming out, but Stamina just going to retreat, thinking better of trying to engage the entire roster all by himself. Molly's going to fly into apartments, and Spamsy to send a grenade down Banana. This has been pretty much the story from InFinity Esports. They wait until pretty late in the round. They kind of bait Verum into a false sense of security, if they will. And then once they execute, it's quick and deadly, and they execute very, very well. They almost always push onto the site, take out basically the entire team, or at least the entire team that's playing there. This could be interesting from Sam, being super aggressive into Banana. He could push out and around and maybe catch the terrorists unawares for the moment. And Stamina, good for one on the Chuti with that op. So for once, for the first time in quite a while, Verum does find themselves at a man advantage. Spamsy looking to eliminate it, but only ends up doing a little bit of damage to the back of Sam. Now, Stamina, should this smoke dissipate, this fight could be interesting, but the timing is all wrong. Instead, Jonesy going to fall to the AK. Now we're in a 4v4. Rounds the corner, but just finds the op. CMX also good for one on to point. This is actually an interesting round for Verum because it's looking like they might be poised to take it. Only one player on this B bomb site, though, playing back in pit. CMX could make could do a lot of damage here. But the bomb's just not going to go down. They're going to decide to save and hold on to what they have. It's going to be the second on the board for Team Verum. They absolutely needed that round. Buy still going to look really great with that 30k monies from InFinity Esports. So, not too much damage done to them. Their momentum is still looking great for the round, for the half so far. going to be a very similar play from Verum, and actually, as opposed to how they were looking earlier, some very quick aggression up into Banana. Tomorrow actually all the way almost up on the bomb site, pushing way up and out and catching Sam unawares. Ajax is going to have to struggle to get the molly and the smoke out to cover his hide. But Tomorrow going to be brought all the way down to 3 health, and Ajax is just going to finish him off. Ajax good for a second one onto Kiki. Is he good for a third? He is indeed going to take down Spams. And now it's Truthy all on his own. And Jonesy, quick and easy shot down mid for the head tap. It's going to be the third falling to Verum. That was an interesting early round for InFinity. They played very, very aggressive and then got the early kill. But then when it came down to it, Ajax's utility usage, especially using the smoke and the molly to prevent the further aggression as he retreated and got himself into position, absolutely beautiful. Used that utility to secure himself a little niche in the back of the bomb site, and then just waited for the opponents to line up and run right into his bullets. Early mid-aggression here from InFinity Esports, but not quite going to find the opposition that maybe they were expecting quite so soon. Jonesy now potentially looking. He knows that there's a player up in apartment, so he's probably waiting for the aggression, as is CMX, pushing himself back into pit. Spamsy going to send the Molotov long and deep, and that's going to force him out of position. But this molly here at mid is going to do the same. So they're not quite going to be able to push on in yet. And this is looking like another very, very slow round for the boys of Verum and for the boys of InFinity Esports. Chuti possibly pushing out of apartments and looking down at pit. It still doesn't even seem like they've committed to a site, but CMX sees the little beret of the top of his head, knocks him down, but Spamsy is good for the refrag to take down Stamina. Now, CMX playing back in pit. They're sure that he's here, but they're not quite quick enough to execute on him, so CMX is going to take down one with him. Tomorrow's good for the shot onto Jonesy playing back site, so bomb will be planted here. See if Ajax and Sam are down for the site retake, or if they're just going to try and play it nice and safe. Spamsy playing super aggressive out and in, but yeah, just looks like Ajax is content to once again hold on to that op, not one to lose it if he can help it. So that's going to be the 10th round falling to InFinity, going up 7-3 on the T side, which is exactly what they need. Verum needs to show a little bit more prowess on their CT side, or they might find themselves at too much of a deficit to come back from once we swap. Because that's the critical thing. The more rounds that InFinity picks up here on T, the more momentum that they build, the farther ahead that they pull, the less likely it becomes that we see a comeback, even with Verum's incredible T side, right? Because the more rounds you have as a lead, it should go without saying, the more margin for error you have going later on. So, now, going to be some quick aggression and Stamina, going to be knocked all the way down to just 19 HP remaining. That's going to be a little bit painful. Going to have to push back away, and he's not going to be aggressing onto any mollies anytime soon for fear of losing his life. Ajax playing aggressive at top Banana, but not quite going to find anyone as the rest of the terrorists have pushed on towards apartment and the bomb site. Right now, it's going to come down to who takes this first fight. A good victory came very early in the round when for InFinity when Sam was quickly injured. But it's really going to come down to Stamina and his prowess with the op. Doesn't even care that he's been blinded. Is still good to take down Spamsy. So, now, going to be all up to the remainder of InFinity to take this round, because this was a force for Verum. We do see Point playing really aggressively out of apartments, but he's not ready for CMX playing behind. Point is good for the trade, but really, that shouldn't have happened. Kinky should have checked his corner, and so too should Shooty, because that's going to be an easy frag there. The bomb is down, but it's a 3v2. All of Verum is playing towards B site, so this push could come at any moment. A good Molotov coming in up top. Looks like they're going to aggress towards Pit while Sam pinches them from the opposite angle. This rush through the smoke comes out, and Sam is good for both kills. Close out the fourth for Team Verum. Bomb has been defused indeed, and that was a round that they desperately needed. So they've broken up the momentum that was being built from InFinity, and now going into this next full buy, have at least some of the confidence that they might need to continue to hold down this budding potential comeback. Going to be some early aggression from T-Ramp towards mid. Shots are coming out, but there's no targets there to hit. Jonesy playing all the way back in a bomb site, just trying to get a little bit of information from the T's at mid. Kinky thinking about making that push, but not quite deciding on it yet. So, nothing's really going to come of it. Flash coming down into mid, but the T's have still been a little bit hesitant to be aggressive towards it. Instead, they're gonna push their way up into banana. Good nade coming out, doing at least a little bit of damage to Kinky. And Point on a long lurk from underpass. Good smoke coming out from Jonesy, going to block off the two players pushing. A spray is going to come through the smoke and do a bit of damage, but it's not quite going to be enough to find the kill yet. Ajax playing extremely wary because he knows that the squad from InFinity is up in the smoke, and he's going to catch the gun barrel peeking out. That's going to be the first frag of the round. Chuti, though, lurking all the way over here on the A bomb site. I think he's waiting for maybe the rotation from the CTs to come out so that he can catch some frags from them. Or he's going to let his squad know that there's a lot less stuff going on here, so maybe you should come join me. 10 seconds left on the round. They're going to get into the site, get the kill onto Jonesy and onto CMX playing in pit. They don't have the, oh, they do have the bomb, never mind, but it's not going to be put down with enough time remaining. So despite the good aggression onto the site, it's still going to be a round from Team Verum. They are going to be able to find it just due to the lack of plant coming out. They were a little bit too focused on spraying down CMX over in the pit instead of putting down the bomb like they should have been. Now, it's going to be another round. We're getting close to swapping sides, and it's been an even affair so far. A little bit of early Molotov into the apartments, but nothing's gonna come of it. You see almost the entire squad pushed up into banana, and only Ajax and Sam to meet them. Stamina holding this angle at the mid with op, just daring someone to peek. We're gonna see, yes! The Ajax is going to see the tip of the beret from the boost and going to be absolutely ready in every way, and as well as a beautiful flash and a beautiful spray coming out. That's going to be Point falling as well. Only 2 T's remaining, but Spamsy going to do his job and knock down one. But Ajax, for 4K on the round, going to swing out and spray down 2. Beautiful play from Team Verum to secure the 6th. And now, actually, the potential is there going into what should be a bonus round. The potential is absolutely there for what could start to look like a 7-7 tie and maybe even an 8-7 half for Verum, despite the slow, shaky start. That remains to be seen, though, as I don't want to catch my chickens before we have them hatched. We are playing Inferno. Doesn't mean I can get a little overzealous with these chickens. There aren't enough to go around at the end of the day. Good molly coming out from players at mid, and they're going to have the 3-stack on this A bomb site, which could be to their massive benefit as we see the aggression from especially Point CMX. Not one to lose those gunfights. Going to take that early kill in apartments. That's going to force InFinity to change up their gameplay now that they're at player disadvantage. This will be tough, to say the least. Interesting smoke into the apartments, but Jonesy flanked all the way up, going to find one onto Kinky as the rest of the T's pass him by, and they're not expecting Ajax to be playing all the way back here in CT start. He's good for all 3 remaining shots. Now, despite being all the way back, here we are, all tied up, 7-7. Give me a quick little pause for someone to figure out what's gone wrong here. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard, and we can see reflecting exactly what we would expect with Ajax having a stellar standout performance with spray down after spray down. 4 times loss bonus as well for this for the T side. So Ajax sitting at 14-6 can certainly hold his head high after this half, and hopefully hold his head high after this game. Now, pushing into the final round of the half, we'll see what we can get. Early smokes coming in towards Banana, a good lineup coming out. And here comes the mollies as well. Sam looking to get some early aggression into apartments, hopping up onto the balcony. Could potentially find CMX playing back of pit, as he has tended to so far. I wonder if InFinity has gotten the read on that positioning quite yet, but it seems to be that InFinity has always been pretty reluctant for these early pushes. They really like running out the timer, making the CTs guess a little bit before they push on in and try and take over site. And it was working out very well in the early rounds, but now that Verum has started to figure out that's exactly how their play style is, they seem to be more and more ready for it, especially CMX playing in pit. Good for 1, and Jonesy is good for 2, leaving only 2 players remaining in this half. Jonesy finally taken down by the sprays, but Kinky is extremely hurt. Tomorrow, going to get the bomb planted. Players are coming all the way over from the B bomb side, pushing through Arch. In comes the smokes. This spray should come out soon onto Kinky in Graveyard, but not quite yet. He's wary of stamina. He's wary of the op. He sprays him down, but he can't quite get the kill. Fire's spreading, but is Kinky safe? Yeah, he's playing all the way up into the smoke. I couldn't tell if he was going to step on that molly or not. Spray from Tomorrow is good to find Sam. Kinky takes out Ajax, but stamina is good for at least 1 from up top. Not good for the second, though. So, Tomorrow is going to be able to hold down the site, if only barely. So, 8-7 half from InFinity Esports. Exactly what you'd like to see. But now, pushing on in to this next half. It's going to be seen if Verum's T side can hold up how you would like them to. That's going to be the biggest thing, right? Because Verum's T side, if we've looked at their stats throughout all of the ESEA season, their T side is very, very good. But I have no idea how good InFinity's CT side is. If it holds up to their early T side, Verum could start to find themselves in a little bit of trouble. Who knows for sure? We'll have to wait and see as we get into it. I see you, Shock, using your powers of having Steam friends to spoil the game. How dare you? We are live yet again. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard and see that InFinity having a standout performance of their own in the form of Kinky to almost match how Ajax is doing, but not quite enough of what he needs. So, 8-7, about as even. Well, actually, yeah, it's as even as you can get for a first half of CSGO. No even halves here with 15 rounds on it. This ain't Valorant. But an early kill. Oh, no. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's the pistol round one. Unless CMX can be a god among men and he's taken down 2. That was, not good for Verum fans out there. Point just being really early, really aggressive in Banana and just catching the CTs, lining their heads up for him to spray them down. Very painful. 9-7 now. Pushing into this next round, we are going to see a bit of a force, especially on CMX. Try and counter the buy from InFinity. That solid guess that he would have. Pushing on in here. Some early smokes. Seems that Jonesy and co on Team Verum are trying to at least match the slow-ish pace that we saw from InFinity on their own T side. They really like to run down the clock before they started getting into the big gunfights. Looks like it's going to be quite a bit of aggression down Banana. So, pretty standard push, pretty default push here. We're going to send a flash in for point to push, but there's nobody there. Now in comes the aggression from the T's. And out goes the grenade. Auto director, what are you doing? Why are we stuck watching? What happened? Why are we stuck watching? Oh, Chudy has left the game and I think it confused auto director somehow. There we go. Not sure what happened there. Bomb's gonna be defused, and it should be around for the terrorist with a good shot from Ajax. I don't know what happened there to the cam. How do we get the cam back on to following the players? It's all messy. There we go. I must have accidentally clicked control or something. NA observers Keck W. I didn't even touch my keyboard, to be real with you. Now there's going to be another pause, though, as a player from InFinity has once again disconnected. We're going to see a bit of an interesting play here, because with Verum having taken that round, should put the hurt on the CT side economy, because they did force pretty hard into it, but not quite going to be a surefire win for Verum. Hopefully, though, we do get this player back in before one of the teams is forced to play a 5v4, because we know 5v4s aren't all that much fun. These technical issues have been biting InFinity just a little bit, but makes his return. Chudy is back. So, we should be able to restart the timer in just a moment and get back into the action. 9-8 is your scoreline, so this looks like it's going the distance no matter what. And here we go. Looks like it's going to be a pretty default stack from the CTs. 3 playing A, 1 playing out mid, and 2 playing B. But look at this early aggression into Banana. We see both Truthy and Kinky pushing up right quick with just the pistols. Explosion's going to come in, but Truthy is good for at least 1 onto Jonesy. It's going to be, despite it potentially being what should be a bonus round, a quick and easy kill for the CT side. Sam's going to take a bit of damage while he got caught with that molly in hand. And now, Truthy playing on top of the box. I'm going to try and catch the aggression from Stamina as he potentially pushes onto this site. A good shot, but it's not quite going to do all the work yet as it puts Ajax down to pretty low health. The smoke comes into apartment. Tomorrow's definitely nervous about a potential apartment play. Seeing how dangerous they were themselves were when playing apartments, I believe him. Smoke's going to be coming in, but Spamsy pushing all the way up into Arch. I'm going to find that quick scout kill. Good shot. Man advantage has been secured for them on the save round, but he can't quite do all the work now, can he? As the rush is going to come in, and they're going to find that kill on him. Not going to be done without damage, though, because that's 3 lit people and now 2 lit people. As Stamina tries to hop up and in, it's going to be taken down by CMX. Now, bomb goes down. That was a nice and easy kill, catching him at the end of the animation. That should be a 10th for the CTs. They're just looking for their kit. I think there's a kit on the floor somewhere. Is there? Oh, no, there's no kit, but it's okay. They have plenty of time. The bomb was only just planted. So good defusal there, and that's going to be another round for the CTs. 10-8. If this momentum starts to build, especially now, forcing a potential, at least light buy, CMX is going to be the only one with a rifle in hand, the upgraded pistols being the option from the rest of the squad. Should be around for InFinity, but as we saw in the very last round, sometimes bonuses don't go the way you plan. Sometimes the team that should win doesn't. So, potential 11th or a potential 9th, that remains to be seen. Trying to toss the bomb up onto the balcony, but missing. Going to have to just pick it up himself. Jonesy could find the barrel of tomorrow's rifle should he aggressively push out here, especially with Point playing in the pit to cover on to... Wow, what an aggressive push. Stamina going to fall to the fire, but it's not going to matter because Verum has 3 men on site. That was an insane push there. CMX good for the final 2, and alright, like I said, sometimes the rounds you should win just don't quite go your way. 9th on the board for Team Verum, and this could be going OT, ladies and gentlemen, because 10-9, only 1 round difference between the two, and now a pistol round being played by InFinity. Could be looking at 10-10 in just a moment, but that still remains to be seen. I'm more and more learning that I should stop calling things out ahead of time because they almost never come to pass. These teams keep winning the pistols when they're up against rifles, and frankly, I'm not sure how. Some quick aggression through the molly, but Kinky only going to find himself at around 2 health remaining thanks to that. Point being very aggressive onto the bridge, and he's just going to find the back of CMX. CMX actually almost turning around and flipping the script, but the inaccuracy from not quite going to come back to bite him, as Point still does capitalize on the shot. It's a little bit scarier than it needed to be, though. Now, at man disadvantage, Verum looking to push on into this B site. They could potentially find all 5 CTs instead of the open site that they might expect, might be looking for. See in just a moment as the clock ticks down. Only 35 seconds remaining. Door's going to open from point, and he takes the shots, catches the legs of Stamina as he was sitting in underpass. And now, yet again, this is absolutely crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Every single time they force, every single time they have a full buy against pistols, the team with the pistols wins it. Truthy and Spamsy good for a couple of shots, leaving Jonesy all alone, and those are going to be some free rifles for the CTs. Absolutely insane, and that's going to be the 11th round for InFinity Esports. Now, should be a good round for both, as once again, only the Deagles and such for Team Verum, but hey, again, every single time they've had a pistol round and been forced into the pistol round, wow, what a spray down from Truthy into Banana, going to find 3 whole terrorists, and Point and Tomorrow on janitor duty, mopping up the last 2 remaining. Absolutely insane spray down, going to secure the 12th for InFinity as they pull farther and farther ahead. Nuts. That's all I have to say about that spray. Nuts. Now, going into the 17th. No, I can't do math at all. The 22nd. 22nd round and the 7th of the half. Going to be some early aggression towards mid and towards balcony from Verum. Ajax only inches away from finding an opponent, but the opponent is just going to retreat. And I would too, after seeing what Point can do in the previous rounds. I wouldn't want to fight him either. Some reticence to push on into A site early, so we're going to see them retreat back into their own, into the opposition spawn. An interesting push here. They find themselves in CT spawn, now pushing on into B. Jonesy's going to be knocked down, but Ajax is good for the trade, and they have the site to themselves. It's going to be a quick rotation from the boys of InFinity. This bomb should be going down any moment now. Ajax going to pick it up, get it down, but Spamsy, good for an op shot onto Sam. Point, good to take down Stamina, and their man advantage has evaporated. Now, it is just CMX and Ajax playing on site. A 2v2 has been secured, but the smoke is not going to do its job as Point pushes on in. Now, Ajax all alone in back of site and can't quite close it out, as Spamsy is good for yet another kill. Both remaining players, Point and Spamsy, good for 2 kills apiece on the retake. Going to do a great job, and that's a 13th round secured. Now, potential buy, but it's not going to be a great one from Team Verum. They are going to call potential pause. We'll see what they can do. Taking a look at this, CMX has had a fantastic second half. Was a little bit quiet in the first half, certainly not doing poorly by any stretch of the word, but still not having the Ajax level of performance. But now that they've moved on to the T side, Ajax been doing a little bit quieter in CMX. Good early shot, but not quite going to find anyone. Now, InFinity poised to push this towards 14, 15, 16 rounds. Tomorrow trying to fake his way out, but no one to be found yet. Looks like the rotation's actually starting to come off and away from B. They're going to push deeper into ruins. But Kinky, with a beautiful spray through the smoke, going to find that. More sprays coming through the smoke, but Kinky can't quite find the kill yet. Now, Good shot from CMX. Good for one onto point, and Stamina good for onto Kinky. But tomorrow, with the no scope to take down Stamina, the bomb is down, but it's just Sam remaining. One playing Banana, one playing Backsight. Banana's going to fall, and so too does Backsight in quick succession. With the kit in hand, it's no problemo. That's a 14th on the board. Now, could potentially be quick and easy 15th forced match point, but I do want to point out this is the first full buy from both squads at the same time in quite a while. So, we actually have the potential to see some good rifle fights here. Oh my god. What a shot from Stamina to open up the round. Gonna get a quick and easy kill onto Spamzy, and that's going to be a quick player disadvantage. The smoke going to come in, but that smoke is actually all it's going to do is let Ajax know there's an enemy up here, and where there's an enemy, there's a kill for Ajax. Tomorrow, good for one, but not for the second as Sam pushes up onto site, and this should be an easy bomb plant. Potential save from the CT side. Their economy is looking pretty good. And Shruti going to be able to take down Jonesy at least as they push their way back towards. And I think I might be a liar. No save whatsoever. Now, a good shot from Kinky onto Stamina down in pit. And that's going to be exactly what they needed to give them the confidence to push on in. A quick flick from Jonesy going to take out Shruti. And Sam going to knock down Kinky. So, at least Verum has finally put themselves back on the board for the first time in a while. And going to get at least a round on the board. Now, 14-10 scoreline. And, an interesting scoreline from Spamzy. Poor Spamzy being 0-0-1. That's just what DCs do to you, man. It hurts. Early aggression into mid once again, but not going to be able to find that hero early kill from the aggressive mid player. Now, Sam potentially pushing up through Banana, going to throw out that Molotov, but not quite going to find anyone yet. A good nade coming in to at least force some hesitation. CMX, good for a shot onto Tomorrow. Now, with player advantage, Verum can afford to be a little bit more aggressive on this push. See if they can actually capitalize on the aggression, or if they'll be walled out, as well they do have superior numbers. InFinity has been playing these site holds beautifully, and it still, like I said, seems to be some hesitation from Verum, and for good reason. As CMX pushes into apartments, he's just going to find the waiting rifle barrel of Point. Point going to be good for the kill, and now he's ready for this aggression from Ajax. Could potentially catch him pushing in here, but Ajax with a beautiful shot out through CT start into the library, going to get the kill. Interesting shot, and Ajax is good for another one onto Spamzy. Now, with the two players remaining, this is probably going to be the save call from the CT, so it should be an 11th round on the board. But, you know, the way that Kinky and Shruti have both been playing throughout this game, I honestly wouldn't be too surprised to see either one of them go for it. Looking for these exit frags, but they're just content to play over here at the B bomb site, wait for the bomb to detonate, and go into this next round. They've got a couple of rounds that they can afford to play with. They're doing okay. And our boys of Team Verum are building the human terrorist pyramid here in the corner. Now, pushing into this next round. Could be a light buy from InFinity, but the story and the trend of this game is anything to go by. Light buy equals somehow a win. Who knows? Now, going to be starting off by pushing in here to InFinity. He's going to play a little bit aggressively. Looking for this quick push up through Banana. Player playing bridge. Looking for the shot and point. Actually going to take a little bit of damage for the spray from bridge. Shot through the smoke, but not going to find everything that he was looking for. Now, two players playing in apartments, waiting for the aggression from the terrorists. See what they can do with it. Good shot from Spamsy, but he's not quite going to be able to find the kill yet, as the molly comes down to at least prevent some of this aggression in Banana. Now, Chuti pushing up in apartments, looking out the window and getting a nice shot onto Sam. Peeks out, doesn't quite catch anyone. And CMX going to catch point, pushing on out. So, good kill from CMX to save Ajax's life from the potential kill there. The push is going to come in on from balcony. One's going to fall, the other three are going to be pushing up from the library. The bomb should be going down behind the barrels. Now, a good, strong position on this site. And Verum should be taking their 12th. Yeah, as the boys from InFinity just retreat on into bomb site B. They're just going to wait for the explosion to come out. So, InFinity still holding on to a bit of a lead with 2 rounds, but Team Verum has the potential to take this back. They can only afford to drop one more round, though, before it's at least a forced OT. And I know for a fact Ajax and Co., they don't want to be heading into OT against these guys. They want the win, and they want it now. So, need to take 4 straight rounds to prevent the OT, 3 straight rounds to get the OT. We'll see what they can do. Throwing the bomb up and in and leaving it behind. They're going to aggress into Banana with the operator. He's going to actually miss his initial shot. Out comes the nade to push them back. And Jonesy and Stamina both going to get hurt a little bit. Stamina, you have to be hitting those flicks, brother. Looking for the early aggression. These CTs are trying to catch them pushing out. And it's, take a look at the weapons. I didn't mention this earlier during the pre-round, but this weapon is interesting. Got an interesting buy coming up from them, but they can still afford to drop the 13th going into it. Kinky about to chuck this grenade out through Fountain as soon as he gets the little hint. And look at the entire T-side team here in Banana, but Tomorrow and Crew all the way behind them. They're going to wipe out the CTs playing site, and that just leaves Point and Chuti remaining. Good shot from Stamina onto Chuti. Now it's going to be the 1v4. Should be a 13th for Team Verum. Unless Point decides to be a madman and comes in and sprays them all down. You know, that's entirely possible. But I don't think it's likely. It's possible, not probable, as Chuti is going to be content to play over towards the A bomb site and wait for this detonation to come out. But again, was a pretty haphazard buy from them. So, now pushing into the next round should be a full buy from InFinity Esports to match the rifles on Team Verum. I say should. Okay, yes, they are going to buy them. I was scared for just a moment that we were going to see a light buy, but hey, for the first time, they're See a double op setup coming out from Spamsy and Chuthi. This could be the edge that they need over Verum to secure this 15th. Or it could not. A missed molly going up into apartments isn't going to do its job, and the boosted op going to do exactly what it needed to. Good shot, a good kill. Stamina, the opper from Verum, going to fall. Now, just waiting on some extra aggression. CMX going to take a peek down Banana, but not going to decide to aggress onto it just yet. These angles are so scary from the oppers. Because right now, at least I think, only one op shot's been fired. Verum's only aware of one opper. They're not aware of Spamsy, so as they aggress onto him, they're going to get pushed off. But they are going to actually secure the site. Tomorrow, all on his lonesome, very, very injured down in pit. The spray is going to come through from Jonesy, and now a 3v3. 2 ops for the site retake isn't going to be the most fun. Looking for the shot down under balcony, but not quite going to find it as Sam continues to smoke himself off. Spamsy just waiting for the opportunity, waiting on the world to give him everything. Shots are coming through, whizzing right by CMX's head. He holds steadfast, he holds strong. A no-scope from Spamsy, and another shot. It's going to come down to the 1v1. It's just CMX, and it's just Spamsy, the bomb, ticking down. And CMX, good for the shot around the corner. So that's going to be a 14-14 scoreline. We're all tied up, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely insane effort from Team Verum so far to bring this to where we are currently. Because, if you remember back, it was like, what, 14-9 not too long ago? It was looking potentially extremely dangerous. But all these rounds, round after round, coming through for Verum, bringing them back exactly where they need to be. Look at CMX having an insane second half. Ajax still continuing to be Ajax. Spamsy being 3 and 4. I know that's not the right stat, but it's a funny stat nonetheless. Clock is going to tick back down as we resume back into our match. Should be interesting what we get to see here. Nades are coming in. Nades galore. Stamina looking for the spray onto Spamsy. Going to hurt him just a little bit, but not enough to get the kill quite yet. I'm going to send him down. Now, tomorrow, and Spamsy both playing aggressively into mid. But the molly's going to come through, and they're not going to be able to find anyone quite yet. CMX and Stamina looking like they might potentially want to push their way into apartments. And Stamina, good for one onto Chuthi as he pushes on in. Molly now going to come through to block that off. 2 players evenly split across both bomb sites. I do wonder what the plan is here as the rotation gets called in. Jonesy's good for 1. Ajax is good for another. Sorry, Ajax is good for 2 as Jonesy falls. Should be a 15th for Verum. They've come from all the way behind, so Team Verum fans get hyped. Because this is exactly what you love to see. Despite the deficit, the boys are showing up and showing out. And now looking like they potentially could take the could take the map. CMX good for yet another one onto tomorrow, and Spamsy just looking like they want to hold on to their op, trying to catch some exit frags potentially. Well, we'll see. And Spamsy doesn't even get to take the op into the next round. Gets found out in ruins and gets taken down. So, now, pushing into potential match point for Team Verum. It's going to remain to be seen if InFinity has it in them on this still pretty haphazard buy. The economy is not looking great. 2. kind of get in here because they need to take this to OT now. Earlier, I was talking about how Verum needs to get these rounds together so they can have the potential to go OT or win. But now it's actually Verum in position to potentially stop the OT, take this map 16-14 here on Inferno. That would be certainly something to see. Already on the 4 times loss bonus for InFinity, we've seen several rounds strung together. Now getting into what could potentially be our last round of the night. We'll see. Good throw of a molly on in. Going to force the player. I believe there was a player in apartments earlier who is now retreated back down the steps. Stamina in co. Be very aggressive onto Banana, and they could potentially find the weaker site. Only 2 players playing B. It's going to try and fake it with the bomb throw. And Shooty getting caught inside of the smokes, playing inside of the smokes. And Tianastica1, thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. We appreciate every last bit. If there's anyone else with an unused Prime in the chat, make sure you throw it our way. It's completely free, and it helps the squad out more than you could imagine. Speaking of helping the squad out, that line isn't going to do that. Shruti, good for a couple as the Molotov burns Kinky alive, but now we're down into the 2v3. Bomb goes down, point being aggressive into the, oh no, into ruins. And now it's Ajax all on his lonesome. If there's anyone that I would want to play site alone, certainly be Ajax, as the CTs don't have any kits at the moment. It remains to be seen if they can find one to pick one up. Okay, point finds a kit, starts going for the defuse, but Ajax takes out one. Not quite good enough for the second one. Let's see. Now, we're in overtime, everyone. It's time for the OT. Starting off this OT. Quick and easy shot. I'm kind of mystified by the fact that we're actually in OT. During this warm-up right here, I just, wasn't expecting it. InFinity had pulled out so far ahead at the start of the second half that it was looking near impossible for Verum even to tie it up. Then Verum takes the lead, looks absolutely poised to close out the game, especially having InFinity on a light buy for the final round. And then InFinity just comes in, closes it out, nice and easy, gets the dub. So, pushing into this OT in but a moment. Let's get a look at the scoreboard. Oh no, the scoreboard has done the ESEA thing of resetting at the half, so you can't even look at that. So, getting started here. Let's see what they can do in this final potential OT. I don't know if either team wants to go into double OT, so both are probably going to be doing their damnedest to hold on to it. Let's see. Both coaches, I'm sure, are whispering into the ears of the players, giving them advice on how to play this. But it's not been a close contest for nothing. Some super early aggression into Banana. Kinky going to find the first kill onto Jonesy as he kind of gets confused at where he is, pushes up a little bit too far, and goes down. Now, this angle from Shooty could be deadly. If the boys get a little bit too aggressive pushing through mid, or they get a little bit aggressive pushing into B bomb site, I have no doubt in my mind that Kinky will cut them down without a second's hesitation. And that's looking like what the situation might be in just a moment. Stamina throwing the smoke in, and a beautiful molly. Kinky's going to be caught between a rock and a hard place, but it doesn't matter because he pushes out, gets the spray onto Sam. Ajax, good for the trade. Stamina good for another one. Now, they are on this site. The bomb is going down. Verum secured the 3v3 at least on the site retake. In comes Point, but is he going to expect CMX playing? He does expect it, but he still doesn't win the fight. A beautiful frag from CMX meant his team's advantage, but Truthy not one to go down without a fight. Going to get a nice and easy kill onto Stamina. Ajax good for one on to Truthy. And now it comes down to the 1v1. He's going to head towards the bomb and try and get it. Is he not even faking? Hang on. Is this okay? For the briefest second, I was thinking that he was about to get the ninja defuse. But didn't happen. We're fine. Everything's cool. CMX is here, and he wins the round. Now going up 16-15. A couple more rounds. Only a couple more rounds needed for Team Verum before they manage to secure it all. Early smokes and early mollies down mid, but it's going to come down to Spamsy finding Jonesy early, pushing into apartments. Rest of the team is going to be aggressively pushing up towards the site as the CTs actually take a moment to slow it down, especially slowing it down with both Kinky and Point, getting some easy frags in that scenario. Now, should be around for InFinity Esports with only 2 players remaining on the Team Verum side. It looks like they're going to push towards CT start to try and find a couple of frags before pushing onto a site. But this push is just going to come out, and the sprays are going to be beautiful. Spamsy and Point lining them up, knocking them down. We're still 16-16. So, pushing into the next round. This is starting to get scary for both teams, because the longer this gets dragged out, the more it's going to come down to a war of attrition. Which side tires out first? I know some of these squads can play CSGO all day long, day in and day out. But once you start getting towards, you know, your 33rd round of an ESEA advanced match, that can get a little bit tiring on the players' reflexes and on their aim. So, going to be up to one of the squads to try and close it out before too much more fatigue begins to set in. Point getting blinded and spraying down, takes out Ajax and retreats after doing quite a bit of damage to CMX as well, but brought down to low health himself. This is at least a player advantage for Truthy and crew. Now, Sam going to be pushing up mid behind Ajax and Jonesy. Looking for some potential economic damage. But not quite going to be able to find anyone yet. Verum, after losing the early player up in apartments, has been pretty hesitant to make these early pushes. And that's going to be the real problem. And now CMX going to fall to tomorrow. Stamina. Good for one onto Spamsies. Bomb's probably going to be going down. Torito'o. Good for another one onto Sam. Torito'o's definitely been pretty much the MVP throughout this match. Doing a great job of just getting so much off so little. Jonesy, good for the spray onto Truthy, but not good for the second. As Kinky, going to be the last one standing. No sweat though. Just going to use that kit to get the bomb defused. Now, going to be swapping sides yet again. InFinity heading towards the T side, and if InFinity's T side told us anything, I would be a little bit worried if I'm Team Verum. take a look at the scoreboard, actually. So, on the CT side, it was 7-8, 7-8. We're actually almost perfectly even, but with InFinity going into this second half of OT up, considering their CT side was just ever so slightly able to edge out Verum's CT side. This is looking scary for the boys of Verum unless they've figured out something new. Close it out. They do indeed need to close it out here if they want to finish it. Now, I'm going to be starting this off. Interesting buy. See the op coming out on Spamzy. He's been opping throughout most of this, but no op in the hands of the CT. Just a whole lot of rifles, a whole lot of utility. In we go. Should be able to get something going here with a lot of early mid aggression. They're just rushing in, especially into Banana. Spamzy going to be pushed up and in, waiting for one of the CTs to rear their head, but instead the Molly is going to come out, and Spamzy almost burned to death. Sam looking away at the wrong time, but still able to flick back, takes out Dorito. And now, man advantage for the CTs. Should be able to close this out at least. CMX good for another one on the Kinky. And yet another. That's a CT win for the round. Quick and easy. 3 players left standing after the fact. Look at the scoreboard, and the one person that I want to highlight is, of course, CMX. He's had a phenomenal performance, approaching 40 kills. 40 kills is not something that you often see in the servers of ESEA Advanced, but CMX, a recent pickup for Team Verum, showing exactly why he is on this roster. Verum now trying to counter the aggression into apartments, but just playing back nice and safely. Putting some utility into Banana. Maybe expecting a little bit of aggression into Banana, but still. It's going to be on to the T's, and this is the InFinity T side that we got used to so long ago. Let's see what they can do here. Chuti is pushed up pretty far in apartments. Maybe try and take down CMX playing pit. It's going to just be who blinks first. Who blinks first is going to decide which way this round goes. Because as we've been seeing so far, both teams have done a pretty great job of once they secure man advantage, they pretty much always execute on the round. Those are going to be some even trades. Both teams, both squads ready to trade out a couple of lives for a couple of lives. Bomb's going to go down. Now, InFinity looking towards Library with that op, with this AK pointing towards mid, trying to catch the rotation. Looks like 2 players from the CTs are going to come mid. 1 is going to come Library, so that one is going to find themselves pretty soon in the crosshairs. A nice shot from point, but not quite able to do it yet. Good molly out from the bomb site itself. Spamzy, good for the shot onto stamina, and point closes it out on Ajax. Spamzy is just always ready for that flick. Getting the 18th round down for InFinity Esports. This is going the distance, folks. This is all the way right now. Should be a quick execute. I do like the op staying on Spamzy. Did a fantastic job of holding down the site during the retake with it previously. Now it just remains to be seen if he can do it yet again. Quick early rotate through underpass into second mid. but not quite going to be the gunfights happening yet. Just a lot of utility as usual being thrown down bananas. Op shot's going to come out. Another op shot's going to come out, but not going to find anyone yet. See 3 CTs playing A site, 2 CTs playing B site. These Molotovs are going to come in to support the push. The molly of his own is going to set the squad on fire as Sam gets a nice kill. But Torito'o is good for 2. Spamsy for a 3rd through the smoke. A beautiful shot there. Bomb is going to go down, and with just Stamina and CMX remaining, Stamina trying to take a couple of pot shots into the site, not quite able to find it. Instead going to opt to smoke them off. Gonna be a tough retake for the boys of Team Verum. Spamsy taking down CMX. Point. Good for the headshot on to Stamina. And that is going to be it. Not quite what you wanted to see if you're a fan of Team Verum, but if you're a fan of InFinity Esports, that was a nail-biter for sure. They take it 19-17 in this Season 36 of ESEA Advanced. That is going to be it for us tonight. I've been Last. Let's head on over to my cam real quick. I've been Last, and thank you so much for tuning in with me tonight. I hope you all enjoyed everything that went on. I think we had some fantastic Counter-Strike played in front of us. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so at L4ST_V1. But that's all that I'm going to shill to you tonight. I'm going to throw it out of here. Fantastic job, everyone. GG's to InFinity, and thank you all for tuning in. Peace out.